There are people who walk into a room and barely say anything. They sit there, listen, observe, and smile softly when needed. Others look at them and quickly assume this person must be shy, distant, or has nothing interesting to share. But sometimes the truth is completely the opposite. Some people are not lacking thoughts, they are not lacking emotions, and they are not lacking communication skills. They simply do not want to open up in places where they do not feel safe. A quiet person is not always silent. Maybe in a group of strangers they are very reserved, but when they are around people they are close to, they talk a lot, joke around, share all kinds of stories, and may even be the one who makes the atmosphere feel lighter. This does not mean they have two different personalities. It only shows one very simple thing: people do not express themselves the same way in every environment. We open up according to how safe we feel. If someone has ever said to you, "Why are you so quiet?" that question may have made you feel a little uncomfortable, because they only saw a very small part of you. They did not know that inside you there were so many thoughts. You are not silent because your mind is empty. You are simply being selective. If you see yourself in this, subscribe to the channel and keep watching this video, because you may understand more clearly why your silence is not a weakness. Psychology shows that communication does not depend only on personality. It also depends on comfort, trust, and a sense of connection. A person can be very lively when they feel respected, but that same person can become quiet when they step into an environment full of judgment, hidden competition, or conversations that feel too fake. When they sense that something is not right, they do not try to perform. They do not force themselves to become cheerful just to be accepted. They choose to step back. One important reason is their ability to sense the environment. Some people are very sensitive to the energy around them. They can quickly recognize when a conversation feels forced. They can feel when someone is trying to appear friendly but is not sincere. They also notice when a group of people talks only to compete, show off, or judge one another. In situations like that, they do not feel the need to participate. Their silence at that moment is not fear. It is a way of protecting their energy. This concept is close to what we might call social information filtering. Some people do not let their words flow out easily. Before speaking, they often ask themselves, even if not out loud, "Do I really want to share this here? Will this person actually listen? Is this conversation worth my energy?" If the answer is no, they will speak less. Not because they are arrogant, but because they understand the value of words and the peace inside themselves. But when they meet the right people, everything changes very quickly. Around people they trust, they do not need to defend themselves. They do not have to measure every sentence, adjust every word, or worry that they will be misunderstood. At that point, they can talk a lot. They tell stories, give opinions, make jokes, and express their emotions. Others may be surprised and say, "Wait, I thought you were quiet." In truth, they are not quiet with everyone. They simply do not give their energy to places that do not feel right. This is strongly connected to psychological safety. A person can only open up easily when they feel they will not be laughed at, interrupted, looked down on, or have their meaning twisted. If in the past they spoke but were ignored, shared but were judged, or were sincere but misunderstood, they learn to become more silent. Not because they are weak, but because they have seen that their words were not placed in the right hands. Some people used to be very open. They used to talk a lot, feel excited, and want to explain everything. But after being interrupted, dismissed, or underestimated many times, they began to change. They no longer speak just to be heard. They no longer explain just so others will understand. They realize that not everyone has the ability to listen to them with kindness, and from there they choose to be more careful. If you have ever been called too quiet while there is so much inside you that wants to speak, comment the number 8. Maybe you are not as alone as you think. Another reason is that they do not like pretending. Some people can laugh along with the crowd even when they do not find anything funny. Some people can act excited even when they do not care inside. But quiet people are often not good at living against their true feelings. If they do not feel a connection, they do not force themselves to be close. If they do not find the conversation meaningful, they do not try to talk just to fill the silence. To them, silence feels more comfortable than playing a role that does not feel like who they are. That is why they are easily misunderstood. Others may think they are cold. Some may think they are unfriendly. Some may even believe they are acting superior. But most of the time, that is not the truth. They are not looking down on anyone. They are simply listening to themselves. They are checking whether this place is real enough, whether this person is safe enough, and whether they themselves want to open the door and step out of their private world. Quiet people also tend to observe before joining in. When they enter a new environment, they do not rush to show themselves. They watch how people talk to each other. They notice who often interrupts others, who knows how to listen, who only likes talking about themselves, who treats people kindly even when there is nothing to gain. Those small details help them decide how much they should open up, because to them, words are not something used to make a quick impression. Words are something that should be placed in the right place. One very special thing is that they do not need everyone to like them. They know they may be misunderstood, but they would rather be misunderstood by people who do not truly know them than lose themselves just to be accepted. They do not want to become a louder, easier, more cheerful version of themselves simply because others think that is what normal looks like. To them, a few sincere relationships are far more valuable than many empty social connections. However, this kind of silence also has its downside. Because they explain very little, others often make assumptions. When they do not speak, others think they are upset. When they stay silent, others think they do not care. When they keep their distance, others think they are arrogant. And instead of correcting every misunderstanding one by one, they often choose to let things pass. Not because they are not hurt, but because they are too tired of constantly proving that they are not as bad as other people imagine. But there is something very beautiful about people like this. When they truly choose to speak, their words often carry weight. They do not speak just to create noise. They do not interrupt just to get attention. They speak when they have thought things through. They speak when something has meaning. They speak when they feel the person in front of them deserves to hear a more honest part of who they are. And because of that, sometimes one short sentence from them can stay in someone's mind for a very long time. For them, silence is not always distance. Sometimes it is peace. They are not afraid of quiet moments in a conversation. They do not need to keep talking nonstop to feel close. There are people who can simply sit beside each other and still feel comfortable. No need for too many explanations. No need to try hard to impress. Just a real feeling. To them, connection is not measured by the number of words spoken, but by how safe they feel to be themselves. So the next time you meet someone who does not talk much, do not rush to assume they are boring, cold, or difficult to approach. Maybe they are observing. Maybe they are sensing the environment. Maybe they were once hurt by the times they spoke but were not heard. And maybe they are simply waiting for a space sincere enough for them to open up. If you are someone who chooses silence instead of pretending to fit in, comment the number 9. That is not something to be ashamed of. It may be a sign that you are protecting your authenticity. Thank you for watching until the end of this video. If this content helped you understand yourself or a quiet person in your life better, please like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Because sometimes the quietest person is not someone who has nothing to say. They are simply waiting for the right person, the right place, and the right feeling of safety to finally be themselves.